The Capriccio for violin is my most ambitious work for a solo instrument since the Preludio al Gallo Mañanero for piano. It was conceived in Santander in the summer of 1944 and finished in Madrid exactly a year ago. The piece arose from a conversation I had with Antonio de las Heras, in which we planned the idea of weaving a garland for Sarasate on the microphones of Radio Madrid with the intention of celebrating the first centenary of the birth of our great violinist. This offering to Sarasate comes immediately after the Concierto de Estío. These two violin works, with the Dos Esposos for violin and piano, form the bridge beneath which all my music still lightly flows. Whenever a composer insists on his preference for a particular musical form, or better still, as in this case, a particular instrument, especially if this insistence is followed through, we must look for a reason for this preference, which the chance of the inspiration of the moment brings about. And then perhaps we'd be able to find a particular intention, or perhaps some lack of satisfaction. There's something of all that in this Capriccio of mine. When I finished the Concierto de Estío, I realized I'd only reached the halfway point of the road I was following. To have continued with another concerto in those circumstances would have been tiresome, as it's very easy to fall into inevitable pedantry. And also it's very pleasant to be called the composer of the 3 concertos. However, it was necessary to repeat certain formulas and intentions which were not very well demonstrated in the Concierto de Estío. But is it possible to write an attractive violin piece whose unadorned elegance brings together the magic of the solo instrument and the attraction of the musical ensemble, without the tedious halter of its tutor, the piano, getting in the way? On the other hand, the piano of Andalusia, virtually exhausted by guitaristic effects, presents to a young composer the great mountain range of Albéniz Iberia, an almost impenetrable barrier, which, emerging from the towering musical heritage of Spain, threatens to close off all pianistic horizons. But it is worth transplanting that famous musical style, which is so Spanish, to infuse or inject that essence into other mediums, atmospheres, or agents of sound, and there is nothing more appropriate to rejuvenating the old, worn-out piano than by transforming it into a violin, an instrument which has been able to keep its youthfulness without renouncing the modest attire of its 4 strings, singing serenades to the moon and hiding itself for more than 100 years beneath a disguise of the most adorable triviality. So let us open the book of the old magical charms of the guitar, with its eternally mysterious formulas of Spanish music, and make them gallop on this fleet-footed instrument, the violin, a charger with neither bridle nor harness, all purity of line and purity of speed, now that it's not ridden by that heavy rider, the cold and noble piano.